What's up, y'all? Asa here for another review, and today I'm reviewing thouxanbanfauni's latest album, Clarvoyance. Thouxanbanfauni is an artist from Atlanta who came up with rappers Uno the Activist and Playboy Carti. He, like those two, is someone who I would consider to be a SoundCloud forefather. He has a sound much similar to Carti and Uno, but I believe him to be the most monotone and drugged out. I don't typically enjoy that type of style, and going in, I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy this album. My friend informed me that he thought it was the worst album between Uno's and Shababy's, though my skepticism turned into surprise, and I found myself enjoying this album a lot. The production was very well done, it was bassy, cloudy, and very reminiscent of video games. thouxanban did a great job of keeping things interesting as well by constantly trying new things on each track, causing things to be fresh. On the first track, American Muscle, we get a spacey beat, and then here comes some dirty bass and some standard hi-hats. There are some light keys throughout the song that are a very nice touch. The flow is pretty usual for a rapper like thouxanbanfauni, but nonetheless I found the song to be pretty enjoyable. The song Tsukuyomi has a somewhat video game beat. Bass is smooth and there's a very steady beat going on. The track is pretty cloudy, and I think thouxanban's flow is very nice on the track, and his somewhat robotic vocals were a pretty nice touch as well. The song Deja Vu has a very misty and woozy beat. The production sounds somewhat jumbled together, but it's not chaotic. I like how thouxanban flows over the track as he constantly switches things up, keeping things fresh. The song Tokyo has Little Yachty on it, and of course the beat is a little strange. The sample reminds me of a rusty swing rocking back and forth in the wind. The bass is chopped up and used steadily throughout the song. Little Yachty sounds right at home on this song, and his vocals fit the track very well. I like the back and forth between him and thouxanbanfauni. I found them to have pretty good chemistry together. The track Blackout Boys for Life has a very distinct sound as the sample reminds me of a robot. The sample is being shifted and warped consistently throughout the song. thouxanban sounds pretty good on it too. It's an enjoyable song, but my only complaint is that I wish it was longer because it was way too short. The track Engage is pretty cool at first, but once the beat begins to progress, it really catches my ear. thouxanbanfauni was solid on the track, and the feature did a really good job as well. The sample is chill and cloudy, and there's one line that made me laugh a little where thouxanbanfauni said, "Fuck a MILF, fuck a cougar hoe, fuck the age difference," which more power to you, thouxanbanfauni. The track Souped Up has a sample on the song that reminds me of a video game that makes the sound every time you walk. The beat was a little goofy but interesting. I really like the vocals on the song, as thouxanbanfauni was very slurred and drugged out. I'd say he sounded a bit sad and distant, which was a nice touch because it added another dynamic to this album, as it's the only song that sounded a bit emotional. The song Styro Stains has a beat that makes me feel like I'm playing a Halloween-based video game, as it has some heavy bass and a somewhat creepy keys, as well as some kid vocals utilized throughout the track. thouxanbanfauni does a good job of switching up his flow and delivery, which helps to keep the track feeling very fresh. The track Big Dawg honestly sounded like a pretty dope track, but the mixing really dragged it down for me. I wish they made it louder because the beat and vocals are so low compared to the other tracks. It's an energetic song, but due to the poor engineering, I feel like the energy didn't hit like it was supposed to. I will say there was one line that kind of caught my ear, where thouxanbanfauni said, "How you from the murder capital, but still a bitch," which is a pretty good point. The song Ultraviolet has a beat that I enjoy a lot. At first it was pretty standard, but then it progresses really nicely. The track obviously doesn't stay the same throughout its duration, as it's constantly shifting, but I thought it to be very well done. The track Domino had a very spacey, warped beat and a dope flow. My only complaint is that it was way too short. The song Fully Flared, at first it reminded me of Quavo, maybe that's just me. It was a pretty decent song, I don't really have any complaints. The keys were nice and somewhat dreamy. Then the track Firestone reminds me of a Pierre Bourne beat. At first I was in disbelief at the vocals, but they slowly began to grow on me. They were very monotone and low, but I found that it matched the laid-back, relaxing beat very well. It sounds distant, but not poorly mixed. The samples of dialogue throughout the song were also a very nice touch. Lastly, the song Paradox has a dope beat. It sounded somewhat nocturnal and a bit misty. thouxanbanfauni has a non-stop flow, but still monotone of course. And I think that Paradox made for a pretty strong finish to the album. thouxanbanfauni came through with the album with very solid production and flows that I found to be very enjoyable. Overall, I'd rate this album pretty dope. please subscribe, drop a like, and have a good one.